Welcome back inside the Now Morning Show. So happy to have you here with us this morning, just about 42 minutes after 6 o'clock. And we continue some interesting conversation this morning because the 6th Caribbean Medical Legal Forensic Symposium is happening. And this morning, here to join us in studio to discuss it, we have Mr. Thane, Pierre, attorney at law, and joining us via Zoom, we have forensic pathologist / coroner in Ontario Forensic Science Service Centre. Dr. Alfredo E. Walker is joining us via Zoom as well. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Jaron. How are you doing? Good morning to your listening viewership.
Hi, good. Dr. Walker, are you with us as well via Zoom?
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Walker. How are you doing?
I am fine. How are you?
So far, so good.
Good to be here.
Let me start with you, Mr. Pierre. Tell me, I mean, the term medical legal is a strange term to me. At least when I saw it getting ready for this interview, I found it to be a strange term. I never really heard it before. But this is the 6th time the symposium is happening, which means that it's obviously a known thing. Just break down for me what it involves.
The term, okay, so when you refer to the term medical legal, usually what that entails is an involvement of the medical aspect that crosses over into the legal aspect. For instance, you would have issues with respect to medical, like for instance, like let's say a homicide, you have a pathologist will be dealing with an autopsy. Right now, that also involves law enforcement getting involved in the legal aspect of it, just to make it as simple for the viewing public to understand where we are coming from.
All right, and this symposium is important because we need to make sure that we have the best technology when we're dealing with those lines, especially.
Definitely, most definitely. Particularly if you look at what is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago in terms of our detection rate, I think at this point we are very much poised to have such an important intervention in terms of the forensic and the medical legal aspect.
How has it been affecting our detection, our prosecution, that kind of thing?
Well, it's an interesting question, and is not one that can be easily answered strictly based on that particular parameter. Mm-hmm. However, the detection rate is related to how you investigate, and at this point in time, I think we need to pay attention to impartial evidence and a more reliance on a scientific aspect of how we investigate.
What is impartial evidence?
Impartial evidence, now, usually there's a term that in law enforcement we refer to as IC witnesses, IC. So in that sense, I am giving you evidence based on my version. I'm seeing it. Whereas we talk about impartial evidence, we refer to science. You follow the science, and the science gives you a story. Mm-hmm. It has no side to tell, so to speak.
Okay. All right. I hear what you. Yeah. So essentially, what you're saying is that we don't have enough scientific use when it comes to detection, when it comes to prosecution and solution and solving crimes.
Basically, I am saying that. I'm saying that I don't think that we rely enough on the scientific aspect of investigation.
This is very interesting. So at the symposium, I mean, this is the 6th one, right? So the things that are usually discussed would be around improving the way that we approach the science.
Absolutely. Unfortunately for us, we are going to have the benefit of world-renowned scientists, world-renowned experts in their fields. And I mean, we're talking about experts from crime scene to court. So we have crime scene investigators trainers, we have pathologists, we have DMOs, we have people, blood splatter analysis.
Okay.
Right. This is a very niche area in forensic science, and we are going to have the benefit of these people.
And these people are from where?
You can name it: Canada, United States, United Kingdom, St. Lucia. We have very well-trained experts within our region who we can tap on.
But tell me something, and I want you to be honest with me, right? Even if we sit down in a symposium with these fantastic people who have all this knowledge, how do we then take it and apply it to our situation in Trinidad and Tobago?
That's a great question, Jerome. I'll tell you this. What we need stakeholders buying, right? And one of the most important stakeholders we have would be our public. So once the public understands what is required, they get an opportunity now to ask questions on the other stakeholders, the Forensic Science Center, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. And this is where the media comes in. The media is important in getting an understanding, and we encourage you all to come to the symposium, ask questions of the experts, because you are the voice that will now be able to carry the message to the public and take the message to the public, to the stakeholders. Listen, we've heard from the symposium, we've heard from experts external to Trinidad and Tobago. Why are we doing this? Why are we not doing this? So the media is going to be very important in pushing forward that question that you ask.
What about the TTPS? What role do they play in this?
The TTPS is one of our most important stakeholders. They are the primary law enforcement agency, right? Consequently, they are the ones who investigate. They are the first responders. Therefore, they are the ones who are required to have the most, should I say, they are the first point of contact in terms of the forensic aspect or the scientific aspect.
Yeah.
So let's look at it as a relay. They are the first baton runners. So if we strengthen the TTPS, chances are as we go forward, each baton holder is going to have the best baton to run with.
Yeah. All right. Well, I know we've been chatting because they were trying to sort out some technical things on the Zoom. We have, of course, Dr. Walker on the Zoom, and we also have Gillian Leak joining us via Zoom as well. She's carded to be one of the speakers at the symposium. So I want to jump across to Dr. Walker. This will be the sixth edition of the symposium. Tell me about the origins of this symposium. Why was it started? I understand it started in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Yes. Hi. Good morning again. Yeah, so this is the sixth symposium, which actually started out in 2016 as the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Medical and Bar Association's annual forensic symposium. At that time, Justice Katian Waterman Lachu, who is now a member of the Judiciary of Trinidad and Tobago, was a member of the bench in the Eastern Caribbean Court Circuit. And as a result of her being on the bench and adjudicating criminal matters, homicides, etc., she recognized a need for having to bolster the capabilities of the medical legal input into that investigation. And so she approached Ms. Renee Batiste, the president of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Bar Association, to invite myself down to run a series of educational workshops for both doctors and lawyers and judicial officers who were involved. And that is how it started. So the first three symposia were held in St. Vincent, 2016, 2017, and 2018, and which each year it steadily grew, such that in 2019, it became so large that it was prudent to take it outside of St. Vincent, and we went to St. Lucia, where Ms. Fernanda Henry, the director of the St. Lucia Forensic Science Laboratory, agreed to host. So that was the fourth event. The fifth event in 2020 should have been in person in Trinidad and Tobago. However, the pandemic had other plans for us, so we had to resort to an online platform, but still with a Trini-centric flavor. 2021, unfortunately, neither an in-person nor a virtual event occurred. And in 2022, we are back in person again in my home country of Trinidad and Tobago.
And it's fantastic. We look forward to it happening on November 18th and 19th, taking place at the Hilton Hotel and Conference Center. Now, I want to bring Gillian Leak into the conversation. Now, Gillian, you're a consultant forensic scientist. Tell me the importance of and the significance of the content that should be on display that will be presented at the symposium for stakeholders. Gillian, I can't hear you. It seems your mic is muted. I don't know if you want to check and make sure that we can hear you clearly.
That better?
Much better. There we go.
Good morning. Sorry about that.
No problem.
I've been involved since the St. Vincent conference, as Dr. Walker's just mentioned. I'm dealing with the blood pattern side primarily and crime scene work where blood pattern plays an important part. And it links in quite nicely with the medical side, because obviously for blood loss, there's medical actions that have led to it being lost in a crime scene on a person that's involved, whether bystander, witness, perpetrator, victim. And we need to understand that side of the work. It's important that we do link up with the medical side and also the legal side. It's whatever we find in a crime scene situation, how we interpret that, evaluate it, express it in court so that a jury can understand and make a detailed assessment when they make their interpretation. So these sort of meetings are invaluable for networking, sharing knowledge within the different disciplines and how they all tie together.
All right, fantastic. Gillian, thank you very much, Gillian. Let me throw back to Dr. Walker for a bit. The theme for this year is courtroom examination of bodies of evidence, trials and errors. Tell me about the importance of this theme and what can we expect to see presented on it?
So this theme was specifically selected as a means of highlighting the necessity of having high quality forensic science reports, high quality forensic postmortem examinations and reports, which then filters into the criminal justice system and affects the appropriate delivery of justice. So this theme has been selected to showcase what can possibly go wrong when high quality outputs are not in place, thereby resulting in miscarriages of justice. The feature presenter for this symposium, Dr. Michael Polanen, Chief Forensic Pathologist of the Ontario Forensic Pathology Service, is going to deliver a presentation which focuses on the issues that the province of Ontario faced back in the late 90s when forensic postmortem examinations in pediatric cases were performed by a pediatric pathologist with no forensic pathology training. A lot of errors were made as a result of not being fit for purpose, which resulted in significant miscarriages of justice. So much so that in one instance, an uncle went to jail wrongfully for up to 14 years.
Wow.
So it is important that there be fit for purpose individuals. And my mission since 2016 throughout the Caribbean has been one of embarking on a mission of sensitization and education. As I always say, it is okay not to know. It is not okay not to know what you don't know. That's where the danger lies.
That is definitely dangerous. Dr. Walker, before we wrap up, can you tell the folks how to register to be a part of this symposium?
Sure. So registration is online via the event webpage on the Department of Pathology and Laboratory Medicine's website on the University of Ottawa. Registration is still open. Unfortunately, we are in the late registration phase, and all registration is going to close at 11:59 p.m. on Monday, 14th of November. However, because of this push today, we would be offering regular registration rates for anyone who decides to contact us today and register. So take advantage of the significant discount which is going to be applied for today only. Go to the University of Ottawa's website, Department of Pathology and Laboratory Medicine webpage, and there will be the link to the 6th Caribbean Medicolegal and Forensic Symposium, as well as information on all previous symposia.
Thank you very much, Dr. Alfredo E. Walker. Also, thank you very much, Gillian Leek, for joining us via Zoom. And of course, thank you very much, Mr. Pierre, for joining us in studio. And congratulations on the symposium. I know it's going to be very informative, and I hope that we can see some swift changes happening to be able to mitigate some of the things that we discussed that are challenges so far in the industry.
Thank you very much, Jiran.
No problem. Enjoy the rest of your day. We take a quick break and we come back with more Inside in Our Morning Show. When we come back, we're smashing windows. We're trying to.